This lesson is a how-to in terms of how to do Autodesk Inventor 3D modeling. And this is more of a review that's intended for people that have already gone through this course with me and have just need a refresher, but also people that have never used this before. Hopefully this can help you out as well and get you started on using the program. The program we use is called Autodesk Inventor. So I need you to open up two things. Do that right now. So I want you following along, going with me step by step, and I want you pausing. So if I'm going too fast or whatever, pause, reverse, so on. I need you to open up the technical drawings. We're going to do the left side piece of the infinity meter. So this piece right here, we're going to 3D model this together. And then I need you to open up Autodesk Inventor. You can do that by clicking your Windows icon and then searching for the program. Most of your computers is going to show up on this right side here is the orange I. Otherwise, just scroll down. It's alphabetical order. Autodesk Inventor 2020. You're going to start a new part, so you click New. And then you're going to click Standard.ipt. That means standard part. Remember, these are parts. These are assemblies. Assemblies is putting the parts together. And these are the technical drawings. You can see it's kind of like the views. So I click Create. It's going to load up. And then the strategy, while that's loading, talk real quick about this. Now, this is what you're going to 3D model. And you're going to 3D model it precisely. So like to the exact same dimensions that I have here. One way to start with 3D modeling is thinking about, okay, well, what's the overall shape of this thing? So if I were 3D modeling a bottle, I'd say, well, you know what, this bottle's kind of a cylinder. Or if I was doing a stapler, I'd kind of look at a couple of the different shapes and think that way. Well, if we're talking about this wood piece here, it's just a big flat rectangle with a slot cut out here, 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 and here. So there's like 4 kind of chunks cut out of this rectangle. We got to do it precisely, so we'll use our technical drawing to help us. First step, we're going to make the overall shape the rectangle, and we're going to cut away those shapes, the smaller shapes. So I need to know how tall it is. So this piece is 7.6, it's rounded up, it's 625, 7.625 tall. 0.75, so that's 3/4 thick, and then 6 inches wide. So that's the first thing I'm going to start with. I'm going to make like a box in that size. So I click 2D Sketch. I click the symbol here. I'm going to click it right now. Clicked the 2D Sketch symbol. Notice on my mouse, you can see like the kind of the symbol on it, logo. Right now, it doesn't matter a whole lot which one of these planes we click. I'm going to click this one though. And then now we're in 2D Sketch mode. We know we're in 2D Sketch mode because we have this green check mark. Here are my drawing tools, and my shape is a rectangle. So I'm going to click Rectangle. I left click Release, move my mouse, left click Release, and then now I'm going to click the Dimension tool because I have to tell these lines how big to be. That yellow piece was 6 inches wide. So I clicked this bluish purple line, I dragged up a little bit, clicked, and now the computer's going to let me type in a number. So I just press 6, I press Enter. It's automatically going to be inches. I can't see it right now. That's because I have to zoom out. And I'm trying to do it without I don't have a proper mouse right now, so we'll see how well this works. You can use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. I'm clicking this hand. I'm clicking the hand tool to drag my screen. If you have a mouse wheel, use your mouse wheel as like when you click the button down, you can drag the screen that way. Escape key is your good friend. I press escape to get off of the hand tool. I'm back on the dimension. Now I need to tell this thing how tall it is. If you remember, I think it was 7.625. And now that's the width and the height. The last thing I need now is the thickness. So I click Finish Sketch. That's a 2D shape. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. Trying to zoom out. Maybe I'm going the wrong way. I can click, because again I don't have a proper mouse. I'll click my zoom. So I have this 2D shape. Now I have to add the third axis by extruding. So I click Extrude. That's going to give me thickness to my shape. If you notice, I'm clicking this view cube and I can move that around. The thickness of this board was 0.75. So I'm going to type that in. Same thing as 3/4, 0.75. I could type in a 3/4. Doesn't matter. Notice we can adjust which way our extrusion is going. Right now, the way it's going is perfectly fine. I click OK. There's our piece. Now let's add the other features. Let's do one of these skinny slots first. So the skinny slot, if I look at my dimensions here, skinny slot on both sides, we're going to do both at one time, they're a 1/4 inch over. So both skinny slots are a 1/4 inch over. The depth of them, 0.38, which is 0.375 actually, and then the width, left and right here, is 0.125. In order to start drawing those slots, I need to do a 2D sketch on the surface. So I click my 2D sketch tool, and I click the surface that I want to do the cutout on. And if I think about what the cutout actually is, the cutout is essentially a rectangle. So I'm going to click my rectangle tool. I'm going to draw 2 rectangles. And notice at the very top there, I didn't get it high enough, so I'm going to press escape. I'm going to try again. I click rectangle. I go to the top. Now I'm locked in. That line changed colors. I come down. Click. There's my first rectangle. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Click. Bring it down. Click. Now I'm going to dimension those things. If you remember, the width of the slot was 0.125. So I'm going to do that on both of these. I'm going to accidentally type in the wrong number. Let's say I wrote 0.2. So what I could do is, now I'm still on the dimension tool. I have to press escape to get off of the tool. Now I have to double click the 0.2. Now I can change it. So that's how you can change numbers. 1/4 inch away from the edge. So 0.25. Same thing over on this side. 0.25. That is all I can do right now in this 2D sketch mode. If I really wanted to, I could also do the horizontal slot, but I'm going to do that on a different sketch. So I click Finish Sketch to get out of sketch mode. Now I can extrude those shapes as a cut. Try and zoom in here. Difficult to do with my bad mouse. There we go. So I click Extrude. Now notice the computer's like, well, what do you want to extrude? I have to tell the computer what I want to extrude. So I find my shape, very precise, click, click. Notice that's coming out. That's not right. I don't want that to come out. So there's different ways I can do this. Here's the cut icon. So if I click cut, now the computer knows that, hey, I got to go and cut that. And also you can choose the direction of the extrusion. Obviously I don't want to cut all the way through because, well, then this thing would fall apart. That doesn't make sense. So I'm going halfway through 3/4, which 0.75 divided by 2 is 0.375, which on the technical drawing said 0.38. So I click OK. Boom! There are my 2 slots. I'm going to move my cube around so I can look at that. I can be really proud of myself for what I've accomplished so far. Oh yeah, that looks great. So now I'm going to do 2D sketch on this side because I'm going to do that other cutout that's down here. Let's look at the dimensions. That cutout is 0.75 inches like thick, and it's 1 inch up from the bottom, and it's 0.375 inches deep, so halfway through. Let's do this. It's a rectangle again, so I click my rectangle tool, go to the outside of the box, click, drag over, click again. I have to dimension the height of this, which was 0.75, and then how far up from the bottom that is, which was 1. That is all I can do in 2D sketch mode, so now I have to exit 2D sketch mode, and I'm going to extrude that as a cut, 0.375, so that's halfway through. Boom! And then again, I'm going to be really proud of myself for my efforts. It is halfway through. So far it's correct. Last thing to do. It's got that cutout at the top. If you look here, we just have that cutout. So basically we're doing the same thing we've been doing. We're just going to do a rectangle and cut this top shape out. That shape is halfway through the wood, 0.375. It's 0.375 tall, and it's directly aligned with the top. 2D sketch on the surface, rectangle tool. Line it up in the corner, draw my rectangle. 0.375 tall, 0.375. Boom. That's all I can do or need to do on this view. So I finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude that as a cut. Boom. 0.375. Boom. Look at that. Ooh, that thing is looking good. It's almost perfect. Let's make it perfect. So I'm going to go and I'm going to add that yellow color. So I click where it says default, that drop down arrow. Let's find, you know what, let's go with orange. Look at that. That is a piece of art right there. So in 11, 12 minutes, you just reviewed or just learned how to 3D model and make this. You could say it's decently complex. What's most important is the precision on the numbers and the dimensions. You know, that's what's most important on a piece like this if we were to make it in real life, which you are going to. One more thing I want to show you that's super important. I want you to try this right now. My question for you is, let's pretend I didn't make these skinny slots wide enough. So I'm going to give you two things here. Let's pretend that I did not make these skinny slots wide enough, and I need to make this whole board taller. The way to do that is I have to use my browser. That's this white area over here. This is something I need you guys to do at all times. Have these pluses open right here next to your features. Always have those pluses open. So now we have to find, like, I'm not going to click the back arrow and keep going back to remove things I've already done to change those dimensions. That's a waste of time. I'm going to use my browser to go back in time and make adjustments to some of these features. Extrusion 4 was the cutout at the top. I don't want to adjust that. Extrusion 3 was the cutout that's in the bottom section. I don't want to adjust that. I want to adjust, let's say, the width and the depth of those cuts. So then think about that. Well, what does the extrusion affect? What does the sketch affect? So now the way to adjust these things is you double click them. So I double click sketch 2, and if I wanted to adjust the width, I double click that number, and let's say I wanted the width to be 0.5. Boom. Maybe let's just do one of them. And boom, notice how that's wider. Now let's just say I didn't want it as deep. So now I can, the way that I decided on the depth was through the extrusion. So now I can double click extrusion 2, and let's say I want that to be 0.125 thick, or deep I should say. Boom. So now those two slots are only 0.125 deep. Notice how I adjusted those using the browser. Let's say, so last one was I wanted to adjust the height of this. Again, I don't go back, clicking the back arrow. I don't go mess around with this. I don't add another sketch. I don't go, ooh, 2D sketch, another 2D sketch. No, that's not how you do it. You go back to how you originally decided the height of this thing. The way that we originally decided the height of this thing was in sketch 1, not extrusion 1. Extrusion 1 told us the thickness of the board. Sketch 1 tells us the height of this board. So I can double click sketch 1, and now I can change the height by double clicking that number, and let's say I want it to be 10. Boom. Click finish sketch. Boom. Now it is taller. Obviously it's incorrect, but I want you trying that so you know, like, how to do this. Now, my challenge for you, because you're supposed to be following along with me, so I wanted you to mess up your thing exactly like mine. So yours should look exactly like mine, which is incorrect right now. Without clicking the back arrow, your job is to now fix this. Fix this back and put it back to correct by using your browser and putting in the correct dimensions, adjusting your sketches, your extrusions, those types of things. Refresh your brain by looking at your numbers on your technical drawing here. Of course, let me know what questions you have in class. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you feel like a 3D modeling pro. Thanks for checking this out.